Hello and good evening, one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, friends united around the world. It is the AFL Armchair Advisors coming to you for round 19. Getting to the pointy end of things now. No more mucking about. No more mucking about. I am Rich of the Armchair Advisors and I shall be hosting another jam-packed show as we discuss all 9 games on the slate for round 19 of season 2022. Joining me as always is my young friend, close confidant, and worldly experienced man in Desmond Van Bus. How are you, Des?
That was the nicest intro I've ever gotten. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good now.
Oh, no, good. Look, I'm always beating up on you. I'm always running you down. I thought, you know what? Let's flip the script this week. It's one love. Let's bring the love up.
I appreciate it. I've had my fish oil tablets and a couple of other tablets ready to go.
Oh, gee whiz.
Ready to rumble.
A couple of other tablets. I'm not sure how I feel about that. We might need some medical secondary opinions on those other tablets, which brings me to my next guest. We are very pleased and pleasured and honoured to have the great man in the studio this week. There is no sensible Dan. Instead, we have got Dr. Bateman himself, the doc, world-renowned, the Rhodes Scholar.
Stop it. Stop it.
Can't stop, won't stop. Mate, Dr. Bateman, great to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. And just happy to be here. And I'm feeling a little bit like Marley and Pickett. I've done nothing all year. But somehow the injuries come up. I've got the call up and I'm going to have if I can have as good a debut as he did, I'm going to do well.
Well, look, sensible Dan, it's hard shoes to fill. I mean, first off, this is the first game he's not been here all week and we're already drinking. And he typically doesn't let us do this when we're in the studio, does he? Because he's harsh on us. So Dan, if you're watching, here's cheers, you miserable little imp. We did it. We finally did it. Yes, we did. But no, Dr. Bateman, I got my hands on your resume here, and it makes for some quite impressive reading.
Yes.
Graduated high school at the age of 7.
Yes.
Graduated Harvard with a PhD in microbiology and anatomy at the age of 14.
And biochemistry.
And biochemistry. Sorry, yes, I forgot that one. Performed your first tiny penilectomy at the age of 21.
On myself.
Really?
Yes, yeah, that's true. Successful.
It was successful?
It was very successful, yes.
That's fantastic. Founder of the very famous, well-known and high-performance secondary and used medical supplies online marketplace known as SickBay. That's impressive.
Yeah, done really well during COVID as well. Just secondary masks, massive market for it. So.
Well, sure. No, that's secondary masks.
Secondary masks.
They go in the bin, and where do you think they go when they go in the bin?
All I hear is penile surgery, mate. I'm still stuck on that one.
Oh, shit. No, Dr. B, it is a pleasure to have you on the show. Now, Dan, Crows supporter, obviously a peanut over here, Crows as it gets, and he is repping the retro Guernsey because it is retro round. Tell us about yourself, Dr. Bateman, your football credentials, please.
I'm a Bulldogs supporter, unfortunately. Bad loss last year in the grand final. And I just want to say thank you for bringing me on when we play Melbourne again. Really appreciate it. Just bringing up some old scars. But it's been the Bulldogs through and through for a few years now. Was lucky to be a Bulldog supporter in 2016 when we got the flag. But yeah, this year's not been so great. But that's
mate, you never know. Just because you've got the demons, you never ever know. So we're going to get into it. All 9 games, who to bet on, what to expect, who's going to win and why. Let us kick it off like a dead leopard's head, as they say in the medical profession. We are going to open with a massive Friday night encounter at Marvel Stadium. It is Richmond, the Richmond Tigers versus the Fremantle Dockers. Now, Dr. Bateman, as the guest of honour, please open this one up. Who's winning and why?
Listen, I think this is going to be really, I'm looking forward to this game. It's got massive implications for September. Both teams, Freo had a bad loss last week against Sydney. Sydney is 7th, sitting 7th on the ladder. This year, 7th, 8th, they could knock off 5th and 6th in that elimination game. So if Freo don't win this game, their top 4 chances are going to look to get a little bit dashed. They're definitely going to go backwards. And Richmond, it's a must-win game after 2 really bad losses. I've got Freo 1-39. It wouldn't surprise me if Richmond came out and did the job on them at the MCG. But Freo 1-39. If it stays clinical, if Freo can do the job that they need to do, I think they'll get the win. If Richmond can drag them down and make it scrappy and just play that ball forward first, no matter what sort of kind of fluid, I think they'll get it. But Freo 1-39 for me.
Clinical.
I was going to say, I don't know if I can go against the man of 1,000 holds.
That's actually brought me to another point. I'm going to get into that in a second. But look, Desi, I watched that game. I was out on the Saturday night. Richmond kicked themselves out of it well and
It was
truly.
horrible.
11 goals, 22.
Horrible.
Jack Rewalt, what, 2 goals?
Six.
That is vile.
It's poor.
That is vile. They could have snatched that. They could have snatched that. Are they snatching this one?
Why would they put themselves in that situation against North Melbourne? North Melbourne, like they were much better than what they have shown us, but they were still North Melbourne. It doesn't change. You can't polish a turd. You can't put glitter on a turd and say, "Oh, here's a pet rock." It's still turd, mate. You're still giving them a turd. It's just got glitter on it.
Wise words.
And that is exactly
wise
why
words
I'm
from my
tipping
pet rock
this
here.
week. Freo this week. Freo are going to get up. They're going to fire back.
Oh, I don't know. Look, it was an embarrassing loss. Like Freo once again showed us they can play the very best football that's up there with the top teams, but they fall away and they're not putting together full 4-quarter performances as regularly as they could and should be. You know, you watch Brisbane, complete performance against GWS. Watched Melbourne. Now, Melbourne, slow start. Last 3 quarters of that game did really, really well. You know, all thanks to Cozzy, rather. But my point being, Freo, if you're going to go anywhere in finals, you can't be just have a good first half and then just let your opposition just kick back into it. Sydney, intelligent football, got themselves back in, changed their game style. Freo didn't adjust, and I think that's been their big strength this year has been backing in their own structure and their own game plan, but they don't seem to want to be too quick in changing that when the going gets tough. It's a worry.
I agree. And 65 points, you're not going to win many football games scoring only 65 points. And it just looks like with their forward, you know, if Taberner's not firing, and he hasn't been there for a lot of the year, but if a lot of their forwards, you know, they're Fredericks that usually pipe up with 1 or 2 goals, those sorts of goals, those young players that kick in with the goals. If they're not firing or 1 or 2 of them don't fire, then there's no one else to kick the goals for them. And against a solid defence like Sydney, obviously it showed. And Richmond's defence is nothing to scoff at. You know, you got Grimes back there, you got Broad back there, you got Tarrant back there as well. So, you know, against the guys like Taberner, they're going to lock those guys down. It's going to be up to the small forwards to do the job, and I'm not sure whether they're going to be able to if they don't make smart decisions moving forward.
I think you're bang on. I am thinking, actually, fun fact for you. Now, Sensible Dan's not here doing stats, but I had a little bit of a dig. Exactly 10 years ago, Gold Coast kicked a winning goal against Richmond after the siren to win by 2 points. And then the very next game, this is back in 2012, the very next game, Richmond played the Kangaroos and went down by 4, which is the exact same thing as what's happened the last 2 weeks. My facts stop there because I've got no idea what they did that next game. However, I am tipping Richmond in the upset because the money's with Freo, but I'm going the Tigers. I'm going the Tigers.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Dimmer's going to demand a response. But anyways, we've got a tendency to waffle on that first game. We always do it. Let's leap into some bets. Dr. B, what's tickling your fancy?
Had a look. I like some things. I like Noah Bolter anytime goal. Tom Lynch is still out, and Jack Rewalt, obviously he's their main go-to, but Bolter's going to sit at the back and at least get 1 goal in there, I think. Bailey Banfield kicked 2 last week. Again, if Frederick doesn't step up, he's another guy that can. So anytime for $1.50, I'll take that. Thank you. My big one that I'm massive on is Vlosten for 20+, $1.50. He's done it every single game he's played. $1.50, 11 games, every single time. I'll take that to the bank. Cochin and Hayden Young for 20+. I think it's pretty elementary from there.
Do you hear that, Des? That's the sound of a little Dan being out of a job. I think the man's coming home. We're playing musical chairs this week. The music stopped.
Criminal, mate.
There's 3 seats.
Smooth criminal.
3 blokes in them. Someone's going home alone.
I wouldn't want to sit in this chair
After
the...
Well, with the wand out, I wouldn't want to be sitting in that chair either. Oh, gee whiz. And that brings me to another point. I've got a letter I need to read out to you blokes. We've had some fan mail and I need to get that out. But first off, bets. Now, gamble responsibly, etc., etc. Take these however you want. I like the odds on all of these. You can package them up. Chuck out the ones you're not interested in. It's entirely up to you.
I personally put my life savings on every weekend. And you got to be in it to win it, mate.
And look at him. He's as fat as a house, so he's clearly eating well. Lockie Schultz, anytime goal. Thanks very much. Jaden Short and Liam Baker, anytime goals.
Like it.
Now, they did them last week, and Dan was famously on both of them last week, and they both got up. So I'm just going to pinch a little bit of that Leprechaun's magic for this week. I'm grabbing Short and Baker for an anytime goal. Jaden Short for 20+ disposals. Hayden Young for 20+. He's done that in, I think, his last 4 or 5 straight. And Will Brodie, 25. Only had 24 on the weekend, but I'm very confident that young man will bounce back because he's in smoky All-Australian form for mine. Gentlemen.
Like it. Richmond
Excellent.
Give up a lot of disposals, so I like all of them.
Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. Now, we were just having a few little naughty jokes at the expense of your your mouse in the house, so to speak, Desmond. We made the joke about Dr. Bateman's tiny penilectomy. Now, this gets me on to some fan mail that I had come in. I'm going to read this out as it came in. Dear Mr. So-Called Advisor. Don't know how I feel about that. It's both informal and formal.
Who's that for you? Is it directed at you?
No, come in just to the page.
Oh, no.
Dear Mr. So-Called Advisor. I watched your show on YouTube, and whilst I was impressed with your team's general knowledge, we're a team apparently, that's all right. Your team's general knowledge and good nature to each other.
That's a win. That's a win for me because I don't know anything.
I felt that there were too many suggestive references and smutty jokes. Oof. Please, in future, can you change this, but keep the football content coming, blah, 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 etc., 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 not bothered about the rest of it, don't care. So this has given me an idea. In terms of just the cheeky little references and innuendos and things, I think this show could do with more. I think we should be putting the spotlight on them. So what I've done is I bought this this evening, and I'll be listening hard, so to speak. And if I hear what I think is a reference that's just gone unappreciated or missing, I'm just going to drop a. Excellent. I'll be happy with that. Yeah.
Big titties.
Is this the high caliber, high society show you thought it was going to be there?
Whoever
Doc?
wrote that comment, have a
more.
look at this one. Look at that one, because you can. I want you to comment and tell me what position this is.
God in heaven. All right. Next game on the slate, and this one's actually shaping up to be something. First game on this Saturday, you've got the North Melbourne Kangaroos and the Hawthorn Hawks at Blundstone Arena in Tassie. It'll be chilly. Just around the willy. This is just going to be this is just going to be the gift that keeps on giving. I'm so excited. Des, take it away.
Can you smell that? It's the Des dog of the week. North have done the dirty. They've flipped the tail, and they obviously beat Richmond because everyone that bets with points lost $10.
True.
Still filthy about that. No, they showed a little bit of fire, and Hawthorn I'm just not impressed by Hawthorn. Even though if they're winning, nah.
I'm not sure if you watched the last few weeks of football.
They beat Adelaide. Adelaide didn't show up for 3 of the 4 quarters, and they beat West Coast.
Yeah.
I feel like collectively the 3 of us could probably do that as well. Like, I don't think it's actually that big of a task.
This is rough. They play good
Tassie.
football.
I know they play well in Tassie, but the North train is running. The North train is running. All they need, if they brought out Keith at half time, 100%, I'd lock him in.
Bro, the Crows went down to Tasmania and beat North, 2 weeks ago? So your argument's invalid, and you're an invalid.
Nah, boo.
Boo.
North. Make North great again. If I was coach, they'd win as well. I'm just making that very clear.
You promised us an interview. I wanted a job interview from you. Well, next week. That's
the week I give 8 suggestions of how to make North great again, and then they go and win. You tell me. Is that coincidence or not?
I do have a suggestion to make North great again.
Go on then.
It's the new coach. Every time there's a new coach, you get a win.
New coach.
So what do North need to do? New coach every week.
No, I'll go you one further.
Every week.
I'll go you one further. Bring back David Noble every week. Fire him on the Thursday.
I like it.
Bring in another bloke on the Friday. Yeah. Get the dub.
I like it.
Get the dub.
Even better.
Job done there. Look, I think you're slanderous against Hawks. I enjoyed those last 2 games that they played. You can only play who's in front of you, Des. And they went over to the West. The young
they are
team
attacking well. I like their attacking prowess. They're attacking really well, and their young forwards are exciting to watch. But North.
I'm not hearing anything.
Kanga.
Nah.
Roo.
Doctor, what have you got for me?
I can't do it. As much as North beat Richmond had 33 scoring shots. They kicked themselves out of it.
Good defense.
Hawks are playing good football. West Coast hung around. West Coast are back to a side that are relatively good. They just don't care. So, they've got that side, but they've got some good names in there, and they stayed with the Hawks for a while, and then the Hawks just kicked away in that third quarter. So, for me, I look at the bottom 5 players, and the bottom 5 players for the Hawks are much better than the bottom 5 players for North, and that's where the game's going to get won. Hawks, I'm going to go 1-39. I'll put a little bit of respect on North's win last week, but 1-39 rather than the 40+.
It's interesting. Look, I watched the games of Jaff, who looks fantastic at the minute. Man's running across the top of the ground. Sicily, the general back there. You've got blokes like Dylan Moore, these unheralded names, Dylan Moore. Josh Ward, unreal game for the young man.
Absolutely.
Unreal game. blokes like these who are now just starting to emerge and come into their own a little bit, and I really like the look of it. They don't have the same pressure on them as what North do. And how often do you see in a high-pressure game, high-emotional game of a big week, the team then turns around and loses the next week? See Gold Coast Suns.
That's why Des Dog of the Week.
No, they're
I'm
not.
going to give
winning.
them. That's all the pressure you need. The pressure makes diamonds, mate.
The Hawks have got that many guys running off the half back line that they had the audacity to put Will Day, one of their best kicks, in the forward line, in their half forward. Just go have a run, mate. Just see what it goes like.
Perfect.
Goes and kicks 3 goals for the game.
Help yourself.
Kicked 1 for his whole season up until then. So they've got too many options. They can move guys forward and back. But North have got no chance.
No, I'm with you on this. I'm
North.
I'm all over. I am all over the Hawks on this one, 1-39. Hawks?
Hawks.
You've gone the North. That's all right. Bets wise, I'm looking. I mentioned before Sicily and Chankworth Jaff, 20 disposals apiece for those gentlemen. Tom Mitchell is only paying about $1.20 for 25 disposals, but considering what he did last week and what we know he can do, $1.20 is, I think, over. So I've chucked him in there. The Simp and LDU on the North side of things.
That was so important last
Running
week.
hot.
Hey, far out.
Massive.
Jai Simpkin, damn.
36 disposals. Something huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
And they're really in a rich vein of form, that both those blokes over the last month. So the Simp and LDU for North Melbourne, Jai Simpkin, Luke Davies-Uniacke for those playing at home. And Dylan Moore, anytime goal kicker. I think he had at least 1, possibly 2 on the weekend to go with his 25-odd touches. Man, should be a lock for best small forward. Like he's up there with Stengel for mine.
Agreed.
Yeah. Smack them together with the boost, $10.
Not bad.
Help yourself, mum.
Not
Unbelievable.
Bad. Like that a lot.
Unbelievable. All right, gentlemen, let us rumble, young man, rumble, as a great man once famously said. We're going to have a look at the SCG, where the Sydney Swans are taking on the Adelaide Crows in what might be more of an interesting game. No, you're making that grimace face.
Crows, historically, we win at the SCG. But historically, we were good.
Historically, we were good. Yeah, like 97, 98. Well, we were great, man. Yeah, sure. No.
So, like, you take with what you will. Take with what you will. Take that with a grain of salt, because we are bad. But I guess we gave Collingwood a bit of a
against
run.
Collingwood. And Collingwood, they're making games hard for themselves more than they should do. But
It was an exciting game.
It was a very exciting game.
It was
in the wet.
Much better than the week before, but I just don't see us travelling and beating. Sydney have been playing really well at home. Last year and years previous, Sydney have struggled at home, and you look and kind of go, "Oh, is it really a home game?" Like you want them to play in Melbourne because they're actually going to win a game there. But they're not getting dusted here.
No, Sydney.
They're not
No.
getting dusted.
Look, what did I just say beforehand? Versus Freo, it was a bit of a shootout competition. Freo were neck and neck with them. Swans went away at the half, switched up the game plan. Fantastic. Came out. Freo were bamboozled. And the Crows, their A1 game plan doesn't work at the best of times. They don't have a second
I think
game
Sydney
plan.
are just going to overwhelm them just with flooding it forward, and they've got so many options to score goals, and Crows just aren't going to stop them.
Absolutely.
Simple as that. Sounds simple because it is simple.
It's because it is simple.
I think the pressure, SCG obviously being a lot smaller, the pressure that they're going to build up is going to be crazy around the ball. I just don't think Adelaide have the talent to hold up in those contests. Younger guys are going to start fumbling the ball, hand passing over. You saw it when the Dogs played there a couple of weeks ago. And they're a good midfield that can hit targets, and we were just passing to no one or passing to Sydney players because it was just hand pass, pressure, and then it was a turnover. So I see much of the same going, and exactly what you said. I thought Sydney, being at home, they've really improved that this year. Can't go past them. I'm going to go Sydney 25+.
It's in 25 plus. 1-39. The Don Pike factor, lest we forget.
The DP.
The DP.
The deep.
Google it. Not at work. No, do it at work. Do it at work. And show your boss. Hey, boss, come and look at DP. I'm just going to Google it. Bets wise, I've got Rory Laird 30+. Coming off the game of his life, broke the AFL record for tackles in the game with 20.
Ridiculous.
Man's just stupid form at the minute. Unbelievable. So Rory Laird 30+. Sam Berry for 15+. He's been notching up. Yeah, he's been notching up 20s.
Been working hard.
18s and 20s fairly regularly. He's paying well and truly overs for 15, so that should be nice and easy. Chad Warner, the adopted son of big horse Longmire.
Absolute gun.
Absolute gun. Future captain. Very potential.
Has to be.
Very
Spiritual leader.
Spiritual leader. I'll pay that. 20 disposals for young Chad Warner. Will Hayward, anytime goal. Dan's man.
Always does it.
Always does it. Did it last week. 1 goal, 1. That's all we need. Robbie Fox, 15 disposals. Not a name that gets mentioned on this show very often.
What does the Fox say?
What does the Fox say?
Oy.
That's what the Fox says, let me tell you that much. And that's what I'll be saying when all of these get up. Robbie Fox, 15 disposals. Shane McAdam, anytime goal as well. And that was paying around about $8-9 when last time I saw it, all that together. But again, take what you want, leave what you don't. Beautiful. Beautiful. Anything else, gentlemen?
I've just found a little bit of value.
All right.
Warner, obviously 20 plus, $1.20. Never won't sniff at that. But 25 plus, $1.98. And 34 last week. And something I'll be chucking a little $10 fluttery on is Warner to have 30 plus, $4.30. He's done it twice this year. All right. So obviously the odds are there, but $4.30, 34, he's just going to be.
But players like Warner stat up against teams like Crows.
It's at the SCG. It's small, and that's the thing. I just don't see Adelaide touching the ball that many times. I can see
Unless
Warner
your name's Laird.
Exactly
Okay,
right.
yeah.
It's just going to come back to him, so I'll have a little flutter at that.
I like that. See, sensible Dan would never say such reckless things, and I like it. It's a bit of a change-up. Bit of a change-up. Right, we're going to roll on. We've got a little bit of a different segment this week. Now, we typically would do Dummy of the Week. Last month or so, we've been trying some different stuff out. We have a special guest in Dr. Bateman in. Now, it would make sense for us to utilise his medical expertise and advice by providing some diagnoses on particular subjects.
Just got to put this on first.
I thought you were going to say on me. I was like, I'm not ready
Let
for
me
this.
just put that on first. I'm ready. I'm ready, boys.
Perfect.
The
Look
viewers
at that.
don't want to see that.
No, look, so without further ado, I bring you for 1 week only. It is
Dislocated shoulder, bump on the noggin. My diagnosis?
Just get Toby Green out of the AFL.
the doctor's diagnosis.
Not bad.
Yes, indeed. I don't mind it.
Yep.
Now, Dr.
Double D's.
Double. Unbelievable. All right. Now, in all seriousness, Dr. Bateman, can you diagnose for us what sort of a coach it is that North Melbourne need? Go.
They need someone that's going to be, number one, you've got to get the players. And I don't know how you're going to get these players involved in whatever game plan you've got going on. I think the game plan, you either got to do one or two things. You've got to let them play, or you've got to be so structurally sound that, you know, it's going to take another 6 months or another year for them to do that. But at the moment, they're a young side. I don't know if the mentality is quite there to just sit into a structure and just play that structure no matter what. You saw it against Collingwood when they went into the corridor in the first half, and that's what they've been asked to do all year. They did really, really well, and then as soon as Collingwood started coming back, they just fell away from it. So I think let the boys play. I think you just need a coach that's just not matey, but not, David Noble. You need someone that's recently out the game, 5 years out the game, a Simon Goodwin type guy that's just, not that real Malcolm Blight sort of person. Someone with a little bit of a softer ear, I think, just to get around the Horn Francises and the Jai Simpkins that might just be a little bit, how you going, guys?
As Shannon Knoll said, what about me?
Imagine this man here. Gee whiz. Look, any names that spring to mind? Off the top of your head? Shoot from the top of your head, go.
Top of the head. I wouldn't mind Hansen. Ashley Hansen, wouldn't mind him. I can see him taking over. Great strength conditioning coach, and has obviously gone up into the assistant coaching role. I can see him. He's just got that soft touch, but he's done it. Won a premiership with West Coast, has been there, done that, and someone that I think players could get around.
I rate that a lot.
Ron Barassi for me.
Oh, well.
Ron Barassi.
I was thinking of Mark Williams type, but I am not a medical man. What do I know? All right. Now, there is a severe case at GWS at the minute of the shits, okay? There's no way of classing it up. They've got the shits. Doctor, how do we prescribe a cure for GWS and get them competing again?
You don't, because GWS are just...
Yes.
I hate them. They are an absolute shitbox of a team. How they have had that many priority number one picks, academy picks, how you've not won a premiership in any space, I just don't understand. Number one, just get Toby Green out of the AFL. He's just an absolute weed of a human
Come to
being.
Adelaide.
I love it.
Well, that's it. And if he goes somewhere else, I probably wouldn't mind him too much. But I don't think there's too much to help GWS. Look at their list. The talent is there. Whether it might be the players a basket case, I don't know. But obviously something stinks. Lockie Whitfield's a slug. I know he didn't play last week, but he's an absolute slug. I don't know. There's just nothing that can bring that team back.
No,
Get rid of Phil Davis. Sorry, I know he's a spiritual leader, but his hamstring goes every second game, and then he's out in the first quarter and you're down a rotation. If you're a captain, put your hand up and say, boys, I'm done. See you later. I'll coach from the sidelines. Do a Bob Murphy and get my premiership medallion at the
Gee
end.
whiz. Look, the Hippocratic Oath says to do no
Get your
harm.
premiership medallion that is non-existent.
Yeah, well,
I thought isn't happening.
Yeah, I thought that might trigger
Everyone's
a few
committing
people.
harms at the minute.
that's-
Gee whiz. Jeepers creepers. Okay, Gold Coast Suns. Do you diagnose a finals berth for them in the next 3 years?
Absolutely. I think next year they'll be there.
Next year?
Yeah. They've lost probably a handful, maybe 3 games by less than 10 points. So you turn them around. Yes, they've won some good games by close margins as well, but you turn those games around. If they can make Metricon an absolute fortress up there, and it's hard because they don't have the numbers of the crowd to get up there, but if you get a real good showing this year, the membership's only going to grow. And if you can make your home ground a real fortress, I think they'll be.
Does Mabby or Chol have a big piece of that?
I mean, he's got a big piece.
This is the gift that keeps on giving. I swear. I tell you, I can't get over this. Okay, no, interesting. Do you have anything to add? Anything you want to probe the doctor with?
I'm gonna have a quick think. Have a quick think about it.
I do actually, and it's quite a pressing one. It's a concerning one. It's a concerning issue. And it's
get
been
my
worrying me.
concern face.
It's been worrying me for a long period of time, a really long time. In your honest medical opinion, what the hell is wrong with Desmond Van Bus? How do we fix it?
Listen, he's as has been said in a few episodes before, he's obviously going into a bit of training, and let's just say later on in the year he might have some sense knocked back into him. Let's just say that. So.
You say sense. I'm worried about the vitamin S
about the
that's being
dollars?
knocked into him. Bit of these ones. A bit of these ones. He's got a thirsty arm.
Hey man, if you get it from a guy named Chad, it's all sweet. It's all good.
Oh, jeepers. Well, you can look forward, Desmond, to a visit from Asada in the not too distant future.
Well, I'm excited for the scramble now.
Oh no,
No holds barred.
He's going on
No
the fly.
holds barred.
it will be Desmond's revenge. It will be Desmond's revenge. All right, let's rumble on. Game 4 for round 19. It is the Port Adelaide Power, and it is the last chance saloon for them at the Adelaide Oval, hosting the 9 wins on the trot Geelong Cats.
9 wins.
9 wins on the
They've
trot.
snuck that up on you, haven't they?
Just real quietly. What do you reckon, Des? What's the word here?
Oh, you always think Port at home is a little bit of a danger game if you are a favourite coming in. You don't want to take them lightly because they will pound the poosheen.
No, I said for ones that I don't think we've given enough attention to. That one was obvious. You're not. No, go away.
No, they you kind of look and go, oh, Port could sneak this, but they're realistically not going to make finals. What do they have to do? They have to win
5 from 5.
5 from 5, and then from then on, they have to have other teams lose. It's just difficult, especially when teams like Richmond could fire up and finish off the year strong.
And Port have got Geelong.
They finished off the last 2 games like Essendon and Crows, so
Correct,
they're locked. You'd assume they're locked. But
Suns is a coin flip. Bombers is a coin flip. Geelong, I've got.
and they got
I've
Richmond
yeah.
as well. And Richmond, obviously, they're playing for finals, and they show up for big games. So it's a tough one, and you wonder what that would pay, or whether it would pay on their mentality going into this game. Like
Maybe.
when the chips are down, Port don't rise. Like
But
when
equally, we've seen the Cats come in, arrogant, big heads on small shoulders with an absolute wobble about them, thinking we're going to march in here and get the dub and go home, and they've been shocked. They've been surprised.
minus finals though, they have a really good. Like if you don't look at finals because they lose every time in the elimination final, seems to just happen. They actually have a really good record at Adelaide Oval. They always seem to come during the year and beat Port because I love it because I go and enjoy it. And that's why I remember it. So they actually have a really good record during the year. I wouldn't want to play them in finals because Port will probably win like they have the last couple of years. But you get what I mean?
I'm with you.
Finals when it seems to matter. Geelong have a bit of a burner, but
So you're saying because this
Cats-
game doesn't matter, the Cats are winning.
Cat's going to get up here. They're going to keep rolling. They look too good. They actually just pants Carlton, just made Carlton look like they were fifth graders. Like
Exactly.
made them real poor, which is exactly what I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but we expected Geelong to win. It wasn't. It was a pretty clear cut win for them. We knew how they were going to strike, but Cat's going to get up here. Cat's dub.
Like it.
Is that you? Is that your?
That's normally what I say.
just,
I did a lot of talking just then.
Is that your medical? Yeah, you're puffed out. Your man's sweating after that.
I was just doing my best sensible Dan impersonation.
Yeah, flexing with as the ice is on the wrest as well.
Wow.
That's that big medical money. You get me?
Suppose we win, come boys. What can I say?
Oh, look, Power were gallant. Power kicked themselves out of it. Unfortunately, for every success that Cozzy Pickett had and every half chance that he made look like unbelievable talent on the weekend, Sam Powell-Pepper tried the exact same stuff and it didn't pan out for him. Now, if he kicked for something like 1-5 or something horrendous like that, he kicks 5-1 and they win that game.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that.
They showed up last 5 minutes as well. They look like Port of old.
They've done that a lot this year. They've done that a lot, which I actually like about them, because in the past it's been drop their head and give up, and that's going to be the end of that. But they are fighting out games.
Yeah, but
so
it's
credit
too
to
late.
them.
They wait too long. Last 5 minutes? The game's already done. Why? Like the team's already hung their boots up and ready to jump in the ice bath and then Port rock up. Like you've got to have a bit of footy smarts and a bit of footy IQ to turn it up from the first quarter.
And you say about footy smarts and IQ. There was just too many times on the weekend, especially in that back line, which does still look unsettled, and I don't know why for the Power. Like Aliir turning around and kicking the ground before he hits the ball and it's a turnover. Like Riley Bonner dropping a mark and trying to spend it before he actually had it. I'm picking on those blokes. They weren't the reason the Power lost, but it's instances like that separate good teams from better ones.
Bonner had
that
a real
was the
stinker.
difference.
Bonner had a real
Yeah,
stinker,
he didn't have a good game. I'm loath to pin the loss on him like a lot of fans did, because it's a team effort. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what they do, mate. Like we said, when Port are winning, they're leaving the ground. Port were 2 goals up on the Dogs, and Karmas kicks a goal, and they were leaving. They had enough of the Karmas train.
Hysterically. Yeah. But look, at the other end of the scale, Blitzarves might be the biggest secret weapon. Well, he's not secret, but he's the biggest X factor going.
Absolutely. The ruck contest in this is going to be really interesting, because you got Dixon and Findlayson versus Blitzarves and Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
For Geelong, like, for a team to make Reece Stanley look like a decent footballer, like, you're doing something really, really well. And that tagging ruckman in Blitzarves, like, he's just killing opposition. Exactly right. He's letting them have the hit outs and things, but then the ruckman is just negated throughout the rest of the rest of the ground. Dixon, his big draw card is leading up to the wing, either bringing the ball to ground. He clunks them better than anyone when he's on the wing.
Mm-hmm.
Can't clunk it inside the forward 50, but on the wing, that's his thing, and then that's Port really load up from there. Blitzarve's just going to be all over him like a rash. I just can't see Dixon get going. And I think that's going to be a massive factor in this game.
I think you're right there. I'm going the Cats 1-39. If after all of that you're still torn, or you're still a one-eyed teal supporter, you've got to back the form. 9 from 9.
I agree.
Also, Port have only won one game against top 8 opponents this year.
Who's that? Bloody hell.
I can't remember. But I read the stat. Damn, who was that? Stop asking questions, maggot. Shit.
I'm looking it up now.
Shit, you are. All right, Betts, Dr. B, please prescribe me a punt or two.
I've got Powell-Pepper anytime goal.
Okay.
As you said, 1-5 last week. He's $1.50, so I don't understand why.
That's all right.
That's
For
I'll
one
take
goal?
it for sure. For
Just
one
for
goal,
one?
just for one. Yeah.
It just had 6 scoring shots.
I know. I don't really understand, but I'll take it. I've got Stengel anytime. That's not paying much, but he'll do it. And Cameron, I've got for a second half goal at $1.30. I was just looking for a little bit of value. The issue I have with him and Hawkins is either one of them can kick 2 or 3. One of them will go off for 6, the other one will have 1, the other one will go for 6, and it's hard to pick them. So
Hawkins typically wants to give off a bit more.
he does. And the reason I like Cameron's second half is that if he hasn't kicked one in the first half, if he's running from 60 out, he's going to bomb it. He's a sniper. He wants to get a goal to his name. So Atkins 15 plus.
Good.
Blitzar's 15 plus.
Good.
Carl Amon for 20 plus.
Okay.
And Travis Boak for 25 plus. A little bit of value, $1.70. Someone's got to do the heavy lifting for Port.
Port beat Sydney, and that was when Sydney looked like a B grade.
Yeah, sure.
I can't even finish the rest.
Was
of
that
the
post buy?
Yeah.
There you go. So they got him on the hop. Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting. I like all of that from you, Docky B. I've also gone Trav Boak, 25 plus. $1.70. I saw that, could not go past it. I've got a suspicion that a little Blitzarves might go tag a little wines. Might go have a little.
Might want a little bit of Chardonnay, mate.
Might have a few sips out the bottle.
A little bit of a Riesling. How are ya?
Might wrap the lips around the spout and have a little slurp. No, I'm not pressing the button. Go away.
That's right. As soon as you
leave that one be. No, Boat 25. Connor Rosie, unbelievable form of his life, averaging something like 24.1 touches a game and like 1 goal too, something stupid like that from his last 8 or 9.
Good to see him turn a corner.
Great to see him turn a corner and be half the player that Kane Corns keeps telling us it is. So I've gone Rosie 20 plus, Rosie anytime goal. Dan Houston 20 plus. He's done that in about 4 of his last 6, I think. Joel Salwood for our Victorian listeners, 20 plus disposals. And Mitch Duncan, 25 plus, really kicking into gear as that link between mid and forward. forward. I'm loving it. Loving what he's doing. Smack all of them together is about $12.
Very nice.
Yum. Yum. Okay, let's go on. Boys, it's the biggie. It is the biggie.
I'm excited.
It's the Q Clash.
I'm excited.
It's the Pineapple Grapple, baby. Yes, sir, Bob. Yes, sir, indeed. The Brisbane Lions at the Gabba hosting their nemesis, their most hated rivals in the Gold Coast Suns. Des, thoughts?
I think it's going to be very easy for Brisbane to walk over the top here. I think, unfortunately, and I hate to say that because I am a secret Gold Coast Sun, but and I love a few Gold Coast players, particularly one, but they're just not good enough, unfortunately, to beat Brisbane here.
Why do you like Braden Fiorini? What is it about him in particular?
It's his last name, so it makes me think of pasta.
Just a casual racist just getting bandied about. Unbelievable.
I'm Italian.
I'm Italian.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
We're represented. We were represented.
Hola.
Yeah,
Hola, Mika.
Hola. Oh my God. Hola.
The spaghetti.
Jeez Louise. I need to drink more or less. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at.
What? Nonna she's gonna smack you with the wooden spoon now. She's very upset.
Sit in the corner and think about what you've done. Unbelievable. Oh, look, Doc, whilst we're all recovering, Brisbane, horrendously complete game. Now, if that's what they're going to turn on in finals, then look bloody out.
Absolutely.
That was brilliant. KD and Coleman in the back line, stupendous.
Where's he come from?
He's been quietly there for a while.
He started well, and then he fell away, and then he had one game off with an injury, and since coming back, he's just been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
He's excellent. And I tell you what's scary about this side, they've still got Rich and Zorko to come back in this week.
Absolutely. Yep.
Damn. All right. Well, that makes the choice much easier.
Yeah,
then. It's even more easier.
Yeah,
now, remember what I was saying earlier about an emotional game, big week, football tied, turn around and lose the next game straight afterward? Gold Coast Suns classic. Turn around. I had them last week.
They didn't, and they won that game off of the last 10 minutes or so. Like that Gold Coast and Richmond game. Like it wasn't like, they didn't earn that win. That wasn't a win that they should have realistically got.
I pulled it out of the fire.
Yeah.
So you're kind of looking at like form's not spectacular, not as good as what you would hope. So.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Spaghetti-o.
And another Italian reference. Yeah. And look, they really dropped off last week. I think it was disappointing, their showing against the Dons. I was hoping we'd see something because the season's on the line.
Exactly right. And Dons are actually a better side than I think, everyone's giving them credit for. This is what the Dons do, though. They always show up at the end of the season, give people some hope. Hey, finals 8 next year, and then they fall away. But in saying that, you don't lose to 14th place side by 50 odd points. You just can't do it when you're trying to get into finals. It just can't happen. And Brisbane's forward, like Gold Coast Suns' defense is just very suspect. If you're letting Essendon score 100 points on you, Brisbane are going to put 140. And even if Gold Coast score 100, it doesn't matter because Brisbane will just keep scoring goals and goals and goals.
Mm-hmm. And look, once again, Suns fell to water when they did, it got relied upon to too few to do all the heavy lifting. Toot Miller, Noah Anderson, Brandon Ellis.
It's the same names.
It is the same names. And look, the younger blokes, it is a young side still. We keep forgetting that. We expect them to be better because they've been around over a decade now. They are still young. They are still developing. I like what they're putting together. It's not this year. I don't think it's probably even next year. Maybe a year after.
Suns?
Yeah.
I think Suns will make. I think they'll contest next year for that 7th, 8th spot. Someone will fall away. Collingwood have done ridiculously well this year. I think, they might be around the mark next year. They might fall away. But there's always one team that's going to fall away from the 8, and I think Gold Coast could take that spot.
Interesting. But for this week, Brisbane 40 plus for mine.
Ooh. Gone 1 to 30.
40 plus, you
1 to 30
nugget.
Yeah.
Nasty nugget. No, they were lethal. They were lethal on the weekend. They were angry. They meant business, and I think they're going to take that forward. Plus Zorko coming back means biffage, biffery.
I like it.
Yes, sir. All right, let's talk bets. Now I've got old stink beans. The first bet I went to, death, taxes, and Lincoln McCarthy kicking a goal at any stage of the game. Lock that in. Cam Rayner has had a goal in I think his last 5 or 6 games in a row.
How's he $1.50 to score?
He is $1.50 in any time goal.
Ridiculous.
Rude stuff, that. McCluggage, 25 plus, form of his life at the minute, deserves an All-Australian jacket. That's just me. Noah Anderson, 25 plus, because someone's got to have it, and I think he's trending in the right
he's
direction.
the most consistent player.
He's up there with two. He's up there with two at the minute. Oleg Markov for the Suns.
I like it.
15
Out
plus. Yeah, it was paying about $1.30 or something like that.
Yep.
And he's not dropped under 15 in like his last 6. No. Couldn't go past it. And Slobby Robbie Mitch Robinson for just 15 disposals, if you don't mind. Last time he played the Suns, he had something like 21, 22.
He'll rack 'em.
It's going to be an aggro game.
Absolutely.
He's an aggro man.
Absolutely.
And aggro men do what aggro men are going to do.
I love the narrative.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
What do you got?
Much the same. I got Sam Day for an anytime goal. Just
Okay.
because someone's got to kick it from Gold Coast.
You would hope.
Starcevic for 15 plus. He had 18 last game and has done it pretty consistently. $1.40. Rayner for 15 plus $1.62. He's done it in his last 3 games. And Ainsworth 15 plus $1.50.
That's fantastic. What I like the idea, he's got the notes. He's got it's typically scrawled in surgeon-style handwriting. I like the idea that there's just some 85-year-old stroking out on a table and he's just ignoring him because he's writing about, what's Tim English going to do
I
this
just think
week?
he's in the middle of the penile surgery and he's just like quickly noting as he's like snipping off the penile.
I didn't say he snips off them. I don't know what it. All it said was a tiny penilectomy. I don't know what that is.
Actually, small, you cut it off and you stick a big one on.
Gee whiz.
Bit of super
I was
glue.
filling out the script for someone and accidentally wrote, Brisbane 1-39 and gave it to him. They went to the pharmacist and like, I don't know what this is. I was like, well, sure. No, that's all right.
I mean, they're going to die. They're going to die
yeah,
rich.
right, exactly
That's
right.
fine.
Put some money
That's
on it.
fine.
That's what I'm telling you.
Now let's rumble on. It's Dr. B's game of the round here. We've got the Bulldogs of the Western variety taking on the Melbourne Demons at Marvel Stadium. Doc, give it to me.
I'm nervous. I'm feeling very nervous about this game. The last 2 games that Dogs have played have been must-wins, and we've lost one, and obviously one last week against St Kilda. Listen, I've gone Dogs 1-39 because we have to win, and I'm not confident on that at all, but we just have to win. Melbourne just have our number. They just know how to play make us play into their hands, and our sort of chaos style of get out in the midfield and then just bomb it forward. It's just not going to hold up against the Melbourne side. If Jake Lever comes back in the side this week, it's just going to be rebound. And that's where we get scored upon every bloody week, is just that rebound off the halfback every single week. It just frustrates me.
A passionate man. I don't know if Lever does come back. He did not look good.
Yeah, okay.
He looked rough.
I heard he was a test, but
Really?
I could be wrong.
Oh, putting on a bit of mayo.
Oh, maybe.
And sprinkling on a few little crumbs,
Maybe
little
I
cookie
just-
crumbs.
Yeah,
Onto the trail. Oh, shit.
but yeah, Melbourne, they've had their little dip, and I think they're going to storm home and just really show everyone that they are the best team in the comp. Even if they don't finish top, I think they'll still be the best team in the comp.
Yeah, I think Petraka, his last 2 games, brilliant.
Without Oliver, like he steps up when Oliver's not there, which is exactly what you want him to do. He can take a back seat. That's what I liked about this season for Petrarca, is he's taken a bit of a back seat to Oliver for most of the games and let Ollie do what he needs to do, which is fantastic. But when he's not there, he steps up. He doesn't sort of fade into the background. So,
And Oliver is back this week.
Yes.
Missed one with the thumb. No, he's back.
Man's back.
Man-
I think that's going to be
Man's back.
nasty for the doggies.
Man, he's back. But fair credit to the Dogs. I thought that zone defense that they employed was brilliant. I thought
Their first half was fantastic.
Yeah, I
Dogs
honestly, it worked.
Yeah.
Buku Kamas going back, that worked. Josh Bruce worked. Jamara,
Book.
3 goals.
I know, it actually came about. So, and that's what the Bulldogs need to do is we always have one quarter where we let up a hell of a lot of points, and we always have one quarter where we score a hell of a lot of points. Against Sydney, we just let them have points early, and we just couldn't get back into it. If we can get even half time, if we can be even or there or thereabouts, I think we'll come home hard in the third and hopefully hold on the fourth.
Come home hard in the third. No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Just hovering? Just a hover?
I'm edging.
Okay.
No, I'm edging. No, look, credit to Melbourne. I want to see Cozzy Pickett play those games every week. I want to see Jamara play those games every week. I want to see a bit more of that.
Yeah,
Key talent takes a while to come on, but I want to see
Absolutely.
more.
Yeah, no, he'll be a good player. He's just got to develop in his own little way, and yeah, I think he'll be fine.
I actually think the Dogs could snatch this. I've got a horrid feeling. I'm tipping the Demons 1-39, but I've just got that feeling. I've just got that weird,
I
that
just think,
tingly
like,
sort of a feel. I don't know, man.
2 weeks
I'm not
ago-
trying to razz you.
Yeah.
I just feel it.
2 weeks ago, I said when they were playing Sydney, you looked at that and went, that was a winnable game for the Dogs. Fair? Winnable game for the Dogs. They go to Sydney, run over the top of them, just overwhelm them, a bit like what Essendon did. And they looked horrible.
Oh,
Whenever the games matter, like St Kilda, teams have gone and comfortably beaten St Kilda this year. It's not a difficult feat. Sorry, Carlton, but it's not a huge feat to go over and just very similar to how I thought they were going to beat Sydney, is just overwhelm St Kilda and just consistently attack, be sharp. Be like me with this CBD oil, be sharp. We're ready to rumble.
Oh, you got a prescription for that? No, I'm going the Demons 1-31.
I think so too. I just think this is going to be too much pressure for the Dogs.
Yep.
Demons going to be, as the doctor said, it's too. How are you going to score on them?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
going to be airtight.
Yeah, I agree.
I expect so, but the Doc's going to be happy because I've gone hog wild in this game.
Right.
It's going to be a disposal
That's one of my
fest,
favourite
so
Crash Bandicoot levels.
It's just going to be disposal
Thank
left,
you.
front, centre.
Yes.
That's
Unreal Crash Bandicoot level.
good
Quite
reference.
well.
It's
Fantastic
great reference. So yeah, no, look, I went disposal mental in this one. McRae 30+.
Yep.
Now just count them off: Bailey Smith, Petraka,
Yep.
Dale,
Yep.
Viney, Trelaw, 25 disposals
That
for
was
all
good.
those boys.
Yep.
Christian Petraka, Marcus Bonzapelli are going to have a goal apiece. Altogether, if you want, is paying $15.5.
Like it.
That's before the boost.
Like it.
Before the boost.
Like it.
The boost is going to get you to about 18, I reckon.
Oh,
the,
hey.
the old multi-boost. Look
All
out.
right,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there bloody moist.
I've done all those.
Mm.
Riley West for an anytime. He just sluts in. He just loves a little. And the big tools, Bruce, Norton, Jamara, they're just going to be absolutely hounded by the Melbourne defence.
I reckon.
And Riley West is just going to sit out the back and just do one of these ones and just kick it through. So
And frown about it.
Exactly right. $1.66 for him. Listen, if you want some value, Ben Brown, every key forward this year has kicked an absolute bag on the Dogs. Ben Brown, 3+ goals, is paying $3.10. I don't want it to happen.
Could be Fritz,
but it's
though.
gonna
Fritz has
bloody.
been-
Fritz can, but I just think Ben Brown's just going to lead up. He's just going to mark it from 35 out and just slot 3 goals pretty easy.
I think you're right. Fritsch copped a pasting this week in the media from people saying he burns off his teammates. So he's going to be handball happy.
He did
this
make
week.
horrible decisions.
And that means Big Bad Boner is going to eat
Way.
big.
Absolutely, I agree.
Big.
Speaking about eating big, guess what time it is?
Get excited, mate.
I'm dead set nervous about this.
I hate these.
I hate
Every
that.
week, I hate these. I sit here and look at Dan and he looks at me and goes, we just fucking hate them.
Is this the first scramble? Is this
Desmond
the-
Scramble, yeah.
Am I popping the scramble cherry? Is this your first scramble?
First scramble.
All right. Well, I'm not even going to look at my phone. I'm just going to go off the top of my head here.
That's
Because
really not
bodes
wise.
well.
we've got a
This
doctor here.
bodes
No,
well.
I've got 6 questions lined up, but I've got a question for the doc. Because and we haven't talked about this for a while. It's been sitting inside of me, but I've been I've been in the Western Bulldogs camp this week because I am the global field correspondent and I've snuck inside the Western Bulldogs camp, and they talked to me and they said, "Oh, Desmond, what is happening? Tickle culture is back. Tickle culture is back." What is tickle culture? As a doctor, can you please elaborate your first scramble question? Can you please tell me what tickle culture is?
Tickle culture. Listen, tickle culture. It's it goes back, to the eons of time. Really, it's really when it all started. The Stone Age, we're talking, and when someone was sleeping and there was some danger going, they had hair everywhere. They couldn't hear. So what you do is you just go up, give a little tickle on the gooch, wake them up straight away. Alert the danger. That's what it is. So all tickle culture is around the Dogs is just like, this is the danger game. Boys, if you're not switched on, I'm just going to go around and just give you a little doo-doo, and you better switch on.
I changed my tip. Dogs won the 39. It's the new Des Dog of the Week. Get on the Dogs. I'm feeling good now. Tickle culture's back. It was in the West Coast camp
You actually did well
for
there.
a long
Thanks,
time.
mate. Cheers.
You nailed that. All right. I got the question for Rich now. Which Melbourne player likes to eat cold waffles as a midnight snack?
Jake Bowie.
Oh, you knew that before I even said it. Oh, all right. Doc,
Right.
what coach enjoys long, salt-filled baths and back tickles from the team masseuse?
You say salt filled?
That's a Chris Scott straight away. That's just, and he'd get a bit of oil in the hair while he's there as well.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it. All right, Richie, which AFL player has the biggest earlobes?
Biggest earlobes. I know what an earlobe is. Thank you. The biggest
Got
earlobes.
the big chungus.
Let's go Cam Zerha.
Big game on the weekend, I
I
like
think
that.
so, yeah.
Shave the nurry as well, just to show him off even more. Like,
hard
props
man.
to you, but yeah.
All right. Let's have a question. Which player is a mixture of Goldie Hawn, Prince, and Lance Whitnell?
Oh, the Lance Whitnell's thrown me off. I'd say like a Jerry.
Prince.
Who was it before Lance? Take away Lance Whitnell, Goldie Hawn, and Prince.
I was thinking like a Bailey Smith.
That's exactly what I
He's
was
got
thinking.
the
All right, now
the
add-
charisma.
now add Lance.
You're going Jeremy McGovern for me. He's got the lid. He's got the golden, red/blonde hair.
Sure.
I don't know where Prince fits into that.
No.
Let's just hope that he listens to him. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
So good, isn't it?
That swindle threw me off.
We've got a question. We're going back down to South Australia. Which player blasts somebody you used to know pre-game to bring up past demons to fire up?
Oh, what a question. What a question.
In South Australia.
Any South Australian player.
Any South Australian player.
Somebody you used to know to fire up the past demons to get them real mad for the game. Emotional, I should say.
Wait, based in South Australia or hailing from South Australia?
Either or, whoever you think of.
Ready
for your last question.
From South Australia. He's got regional specific. Let's have a think. Somebody you used to know.
Yeah.
And they're just by themselves.
For the pre-game, gets the emotions going.
I think Ned McHenry. Ned McHenry.
I was going to say like a Chase Jones, someone like that.
I'm thinking Ned McHenry. He's an angry young man.
Sure.
And I think he's angry about his height. And I think he's angry that he plays for the Crows.
Yep.
And now I think just added to that is emotional heartbreak.
Angry about his height.
Yeah.
That's funny. Lol. And because we all are geographically inclined men, so we can say that.
Geographically inclined.
Don't know if that was the right word. All right. Final question. Does anyone spring to mind when you hear the nickname Kitty Kitty?
Kitty Kitty.
Kitty Kitty. Who's
Kitty
called
Kitty.
Who's called Kitty Kitty?
I'm going to say Matt DeBoer, just because when he's tagging, I reckon he'd just go around and just give a little kitty, 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 and he would just get things.
He's got
Exactly
real
right.
easy with that one, hasn't he? He's done well.
Yeah.
He's done very well
with the scramble
He's
questions.
done very
there,
well.
mate.
Speaking of Matt DeBoer, we're going to have a look at his GWS Giants as they head over to Marvel Stadium to face off against the slightly disappointing Carlton Blues.
I just bagged out Carlton a little bit in that Geelong game, and I think it was rightly so that Geelong probably should have ran over him, and they ran over him a lot more than we expected. And that's probably what's going to happen with these elite teams against Carlton, unfortunately. But, as I've said a couple of times this pod, GWS are not an elite team.
No.
Some of these teams are not elite teams.
They're horrible.
And it's very easy to put Giants in that category of not elite. And this is an easy feeding game. It's a get good game for Carlton. It's a little bit of a confidence booster. Going to be I think Kerno's going to kick a couple goals as well. I think he's going to take the Coleman this year. I think he's going to keep it. I think he's going to roll through. So that's going to be a big one. Played really well at Marvel when I was there, and they got around him quite well.
Mm-hmm.
If Giants though, I'd get nervous if you are a Carlton player, because if Giants are winning in the first quarter, all your fans will probably leave. Because that's what I saw. Nah, Carlton are going to get it easy. I made the joke because Carlton, you're going to get a win this week, so lock your spot in the finals.
Doc, you'll be interested. The Giants are paying higher odds to win than what the Eagles are to beat St Kilda this week.
That's just, it surprises me, but it shouldn't.
Yep.
Well, and that's what I said before. West Coast aren't a bad side now. They just don't care. The season's just over. But GWS, they are not a good side, and they don't care. So that's two really bad things. So.
Two really bad things. I strongly agree. Carlton disappointed me, and I thought,
gross.
Yeah, I tell you, yeah. Carlton, the difference between them and Geelong was very similar to the difference between Port and Melbourne.
Yep.
Good for pouches, but it was just those little things that just had them falling in unstuck, if you know what I mean. Just those little instances.
Yeah.
Like a missed tackle, a drop mark, handballing just a bit too often. That pressure game starting to fall apart just a little bit instead of maintaining that intensity the whole way through. And I get that it's tough to do. It's interesting to me that Vossi is very clearly modelling on Port with that high intensity, high pressure game.
Yep.
As we've seen with Port, when it's not on, it's really not on.
Yeah.
It's really not on. And they got exposed at crucial times against the Cats on the weekend. Whereas the Giants, as you said, they don't care. The blokes that do care, like Cogs, Canelio's still
sure, but
Himmelberg's cracking in.
Yeah, I know, but Cogs bleeds orange, so he's your centerpiece. And Himmelberg, I think he's just enjoying his change of role. He's actually seeing a lot of the pill, and I think he's just enjoying seeing a lot of the pill rather than leading out and not getting the ball, or just looking for scraps around the
actually being
contest.
useful.
So, 100%, yeah, exactly right. So whether his efficiency and his disposal and whether that's actually leading to anything, that's for the moment that doesn't really matter. Next year it will, but I think he's enjoying that change in role. But for the Blues, exactly what you said, those little missed handballs, those pressure acts that don't sort of come off. Last year it didn't matter because they weren't making finals and they were losing games anyway. So if it meant they lost by 40 rather than 20, then it didn't really matter. But you miss those things now, that's the loss of a game. That's the loss of finals, and that means you're out. So that'll come with a little bit more experience. And they'll do better next year. But Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. I'm not being funny. If I'm Carlton, I'm not bothering about this year. You'll make finals, and you'll probably do a bit. Really set your sights and put your eggs in the basket for next year and the year after.
100%.
Make them your premiership. Make them your premiership tills.
Yeah.
Let this just be a dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
Next year and the year after got to be the ones you really go
It'd be
all
good
out.
for them to set themselves up though and have a not a crack at September, but the more experience they can get, the better it's going to be from the long
bang
run.
on.
So
But if you're Vossi, you're asking for elimination final at home. You're asking for a win, and then what happens after that?
and hold
See
on
how it
for
goes.
dear life.
Exactly
That's,
right, for sure. But if you can, and as we've seen in finals, you can always pip someone.
Just got to be there.
Exactly
Your
right.
half
They
chance.
well, imagine they get a Freo. We've already seen them roll Freo. Freo stay in the top four. It's you never know, but
As the Dogs of 2016 taught us, just get there.
Just get there.
Just get there.
All you need is 4 good games.
And the Giants aren't getting there. Look, Sam Taylor had 20 intercepts in the first half. Like, it's leaking out of the midfield at the minute. And you know what they're missing? Aggro. They need a hard-nosed, snub-nosed midfielder to go in there, crack scones, drop the elbow. They need a Petrarca type, and they
Byron
don't have
Pickett.
that. And you know who they're missing? Shane Mumford, because he set the tone in there.
100%.
He set that tone.
Steamroll some bloke legally and just get everyone going, and then just not act like it's nothing, but
Or
don't,
illegally.
but carry on about it. Just do it and then be like, yeah, this is football. This is what it should be, boys. So
That's what they're missing. They're missing that aggro. They're missing that aggression, and they're not going to get the dub here. It's a shame. I don't know. A new coach maybe clear out a few blokes that are getting to the end of it. Clear out Tanner Brun. Get him off to Geelong. He wants to go. Get rid of him. Get something for him. If he's out of contract, then that sucks. But they need a bit of a reset. GWS. Yep. 1-39 Carlton for mine. And bets wise, Matthew Kennedy 20 plus disposals. Harrison Himmelberg, 20 plus disposals. Sam Doherty, 25 plus disposals. Sam Walsh, 30 plus disposals. Stephen Cornelio, 25 plus disposals. And George Hewitt, 90 plus fantasy points, which is on Neds and a few other things. Now,
that's past me.
that's
Is he going to do that? Lock that in?
he's gone over 90 every week for about the past 5 or 6 weeks.
he's been on a rich vein of form. He loves a kick as well. That's
Georgie
the thing. It's
Porgy.
26
Put him
disposals, but it's kicks. He loves a kick.
Ding dong. What do you got for me, Doc?
Much the same, mate. I've got Hewitt for 25 plus, Kelly for 25 plus. Think he'll bounce back after a very poor start.
Horrendously
last week.
poor.
Yeah, it was just disgusting. But everyone, well, not everyone, but you have those games. Move on. That's fine. Taranto, anytime goal, $1.80. Shouldn't be that much.
Interesting.
And my little value pick for that is Sam Taylor, 20 plus. He had it last week, $5.20. It's just going to be pinging off that. It's going to be going into that back line all day long. And I think Sam Taylor might actually have a bit of a field day just cutting off a few of those.
I think you're bang on there.
It's going to be good to watch the Zach Williams Cup.
Zach Williams.
Without Zach Williams
Without
playing.
Zach Williams
Brilliant.
playing.
Yeah,
Exactly
brilliant.
right.
Brilliant.
It's just a cast of his ankles, isn't it?
Oh, Lord. 2 games left. Let's belt through these. I'm talking Collingwood, Magpies. I'm talking Essendon Bombers at the MCG on a Sunday afternoon. Wow.
Excited. I'm excited about this game.
I'm excited about this game. I'm
Very
going
much
to
so.
start with my tip and go backwards. I'm tipping the Dons in an upset.
I'm jumping on that train too.
As am I.
How's that? A consensual upset consensus.
That's exciting.
That's what we've done.
And the doc said it too, so it's accredited.
It is
It's accredited.
It's accredited, yes. I love that. No, look, Essendon have beat, of their last 4 wins, 2 of those have been top 8 sides.
Yeah.
Okay? They're stitched together a few on the trot. There's no pressure. They're enjoying their football. I'm seeing midfielders actually do something with their
Dylan
disposals.
Shields. Where has this been, mate? Like, get a little bit of aggro about you, and then suddenly it comes out and you're absolutely statting up. Parrish not being there helps,
Massively.
but he's just turned an absolute corner.
He and I think Merritt as well, a little bit of a renaissance. Merritt and Shield together had a combined 900 metres gained.
I was going to say Merritt's like, because he always obviously loves a touch and a half. But he's actually doing something with them now, which is important. Yeah, because obviously you want to if you get 40 touches and do nothing with them, as Darcy Parish has done in the past.
Yeah, but I think that's what Parrish was doing, is that he was getting under, handballing it backwards to Merritt, who then was under pressure. So he had to kick it forward or go sideways, and then there was no one sideways. So he would just lose it all.
And he's got time now. He's got time
100%.
to actually make good decisions.
And he's a
it
good
was good to
decision
see.
maker, that's the thing. So
Redmond come back in. Huge
Hey.
off the
Oh
half-back
my God.
line.
where has he come from? He is their barometer. If he's on,
They're on.
Essendon are on, and he's just gone next level.
Redmond
He's
Mania.
gone Super Saiyan. He's
Red
gone
Mania.
crazy.
Red Mania running
like
wild.
Red Mania.
I like it.
He and Hines 26 a game. Like, their generation off the halfback was unreal. They had something like 52 points kicked on the weekend just simply off of halfback directed play and chains going through the midfield. I love it. Collingwood playing some arrogant football at the minute. It's earned because they keep getting out of jail. They were 16 points down against the Crows in the third. Come back and win it. They keep doing that week in, week out. They are due a loss. They are due. It's coming their way. You can't keep playing that sort of game style every week, week in, week out. The Dons have got a score to settle. They lost the Anzac Day. They've been dunked on all year. They're shit house. No one likes them. I reckon the Dons come out, do a bit of damage.
Such a small thing, but if the Dons kick more goals than points, they'll win the game. And it seems like such a dumb thing to say, but if you look back on every game they've played, whenever they've kicked more points than goals, they've lost the game. And they've lost a couple games by less than the kick. So that's it's very simple, very basic sort of stuff. But if they come out and score 2 goals 6, 2 goals 7, they're going to get absolutely rolled. Because Collingwood, as they've shown the last 2 weeks, as much as they haven't played well, they're there or thereabouts, and they'll come in that last fourth quarter.
They'll come hard.
They will. Right. They will. No, you know what you're doing. You're not getting it. It's blokes like Ginnivan, McCreery, Henry taking those half chances and getting off with it. And it's Cameron as well. Darcy Cameron.
Yeah.
Gets a sniff and he goes for it. Cameron v. Draper, very interesting little ruck battle, I think.
Draper's goal, just take a moment. Not
Beautiful.
bad.
R.I.P. Chol.
Basking the sun.
He just dunked on Chol.
He did.
Absolutely.
Massively so. So that'll be interesting to see. I honestly think the Dons are getting up there. Docky B, what do you got in the way, Betsman?
No, I got very hungry on this one.
Same. I'm glad it wasn't just me.
I've gone, all this together is paying $40. So just bear with me. It's not that many legs, actually. So I've gone McCreery anytime goal. Nick Dacos, I know it's but $1.80, scored 3 last week. So I think you actually get it. Nick Martin anytime goal. Dylan Shield, 25. Redmond, 25. Dacos, 25. Pendles, 20. McGrath, 20. Smack it all together, $40.50. Without the boost. That's without the boost.
As much as I love that, mine was paying about $47.
Oh, all right. No worries.
$47.
I went to town on this. I really did. All
Yeah,
right.
there's value in this game.
Buckle up, baby. There's actual
There's
value.
value in
There's
this
actual value. All right, Dacos of the Nick variety. Let's call him Nakos for the sake of the argument.
like
Nakos and Merritt, 25 disposals each. Hind and Shield and Josh Dacos, 20 disposals apiece. Nick Martin for 15. And then anytime goals to Ash Johnson, who had, I think, 2 on debut last week for the Pies. Ash Johnson, Darcy Cameron, Bo McCreery, Harrison Jones. Anytime goals. And all of these blokes, Harry Jones especially, has had something like 6 goals from his last 6 games.
All he does is kick goals.
I was going to say, he looks really like, he does. When I went to watch Essendon and they rolled Sydney, he actually looks fantastic. Presents well, puts his schlong on the table, mate, as they say.
Like that.
Yeah.
Fucking right there. All of those together was about
big,
$47 with the boost. It was smacked up to about 55.
Love it.
Rude man Tings. Last one, and then we can all go home and have a stiff brandy. So to speak, steady. It's the West Coast Eagles at Optus Stadium, and they are hosting a very disappointing seasons on life support St Kilda Saints.
There's always one game. Who cares?
Actually,
I was going to say,
I'm glad it's the last game.
West Coast have packed all the budgie smugglers, packed the shorts and the sunscreen. They're ready for Bali, I reckon. And that shows in their performances.
I think you're bang on.
Simple as St Kilda, going to roll over the top here, probably by, I'd say anywhere between 10 to 20 points. It's not going to be, they won't thump them. St Kilda are just going to do St Kilda things.
This is going to be the most nothing game in the world, isn't it?
It is.
Isn't it?
I'm going to put it on
St
Sunday
Kilda out of
afternoon and
finals?
just be like,
Are they done? St Kilda?
No, they're 9-8. They're mathematically
Actually,
still...
Essendon can still make finals. I saw that. Bombers can still get in.
Absolute nonsense. They're going to...
still get in.
So you're telling me the Bombers have won 8 games currently? You need 13 to get in.
Nah, some dude put it in the bloody...
Oh, some dude put it
calculator.
some dude put it in the calculator, and it's all good
Whatever
to
you
go.
see on Facebook, everything's true.
That's including that. No, look, who cares? I mean, as you said earlier, the Eagles disinterested. They've got a bit of talent. They're not the worst side. Season shot. They know it. They just want to get through unscathed and go home. Absolutely. And I think that extends from the top all the way down. I love the game of Duggan and I love the game of Hearn. I loved seeing Jai Cully. I think he's good at the level.
some fight. Yeah, it's good.
I think he's good at the level, but outside of that, most blokes are either not that very talented or they're not that very interested.
I agree.
Yeah, that's my...
Barley, boys.
100%,
Draft.
It'll be good fun. It'll be good. I'll enjoy it.
Oh, West Coast and Bali, absolutely. Yeah. They'd be bringing it back.
Massive.
That's more exciting than the game. I'm literally all I'm thinking about now is Bali.
Well, look, Saints are going to get this one done, I would have thought. This will be a get-right game for them. They'll make it look tough.
They've already won this year in Perth. They can play well in Perth. They've
exactly.
Beat Freo.
And look, blokes like Steele and Sinclair, they'll just rely on them. Brad Hill going back home is probably going to do a little bit, I'd have thought. Outside of that, Saints have just been disappointing, man. Been disappointing. We expect them to be good when they're not. We expect them to be crap and then they're good. I don't know. Where are they at? Where you at? What are you doing? Put your head in.
I think West Coast get this one. They need to win one at home. They're improving, albeit not winning games, but they are improving. I think they're improving.
I'd like it. I'd like to see West Coast win.
Yeah, they've got to win one. Simpson would be saying, boys, this season's a write-off. But the fans have been coming every week. They've been cheering. Good. And Simpson would be saying, listen, let's just get one win for him by the end of the season. If we get it now, literally, it's lights off, put it on autopilot, and just go home and just get
mad
through
respect
the
to the West
season.
Coast fans, eh?
They're
respect.
crazy.
They've actually been
absolutely.
they've been getting around it when their team has been worse than Adelaide.
It's interesting. I think there'll be a lot of pressure from the Saints this week internally. I didn't like that Zach Jones got singled out as being shithouse. That was in the media. Zach Jones' efforts around the ball.
Too many shithouse players.
Yeah, but
you can't single out Zach Jones. He's not even that good a player. Do you know what I mean?
He's just a battler.
He is. He
He's
gets
a
his
battler.
20. He's a Mitch Robinson type.
Yeah.
There should be better than what he is, but he's not, so that's fine. Just let him go.
So I don't know. I think the pressure could be on. Look, I expect them to get the win. You would expect, the way both teams' seasons have been, that St Kilda would get the dub. But now that you say that, I can see West Coast, who have got nothing to play for, pinching this off of the Saints that will be internally as skittish as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs at the minute.
I'd love to see it, but I still got it back in Saints. You got to back them in. What's the point? Yeah.
What's the point?
What's the point? What a
Straight
finish.
over the
What's the point?
Straight over the scone. Never changed, Desi. I got some bets. Sinclair and Steele for the Saints, 25 disposals apiece. Jack Steele, anytime goal. He's back to those ways, and I love it. Zach Jones, after the bait that he copped, I think he'll get 20 disposals, and I think he'll do it reasonably well this week. Shannon Hearn always gets his 20 for the Eagles. He'll do that this week. Jake Waterman, anytime goal kicker. He's kicked a goal in literally every single one of his last 7 or 8 games, and he's still paying $1.30 north of that for a goal. So smack all of those together, $13 if you don't mind umpire.
Like it. Very good.
Anything else?
Paddy Cripps. Jamie Cripps. Anytime goal. Billings anytime goal. He's done it in his last 3. And Wilkie, who's coming off an absolute stupid game last week. 15 plus is still paying $1.30. He's done it in every game.
Oh, his hair is so wilky smooth.
Absolutely. So, yeah. And Redden 20 plus, you'll get that.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Nicely done from you, Doctor. Doc, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for coming in, brother.
Thank you, gentlemen. Really do appreciate it.
Desmond, it's been a disgrace as always. I would thank you, but I wouldn't mean it.
Hey.
And thank you for joining us. It's much appreciated. Dan's back next week. Like and subscribe. Hit that button down the bottom there. Hit us a like. Hit us a subscribe. We love that. Gamble responsibly. Thank you very much, and we will see you next week.